But France's decision to tax US tech companies has drawn criticism from the US president. Donald Trump has now threatened of a response targeting a major French export wine. Trump is of the opinion that only the US can tax its tech companies and France cannot. He has called the French President Emmanuel Macron's move as foolish. He also said that France was used to taking advantage of the United States and that he wouldn't let that happen under his presidency. Listen into what he said.
I might. So France put on a tax on our companies, you know that, and wrong thing to do. They should not have done it. So I may do that. I've always liked American wines better than French wines, even though I don't drink wine. I just like the way they look. Okay, but the American wines are great. American wines are great, and they didn't do the right thing when they start taxing our companies. We tax our companies. They don't tax our companies. So France did that. I told him, I said, don't do it, because if you do it, I'm going to tax your wine, meaning tariff or tax, call it whatever you want. So, yeah, we're working on that right now.
You were critical of Macron's decision to do this. How is that relationship between you?
Good. I just spoke to him. No, I just spoke to him. I have a good relationship with President Macron, but they shouldn't have done this. They used to take advantage of the United States, but not with me as president.
On Thursday, the French Senate had passed legislation imposing 3% digital sales tax on tech giants like Google and Facebook, most of which are based in the US. The rationale behind the decision is that while traditional businesses pay around 23% of their profits as corporate tax in Europe, internet firms pay a paltry 8%. President Macron and Trump are already engaged in talks as to how international tech companies can be taxed more appropriately. Trump's statement on tariffs on wine, however, puts France in a tough position. US is the largest importer of European wine, absorbing almost a third of the total wine production in the bloc. The problem is compounded by the fact that any US action against French wine will be binding on the European Union as well, since they function as a single trading bloc. In 2018, US imported wine worth $6.5 billion, and out of this, almost $2.2 billion worth of wine was from France alone. Safe to say, an American tariff on French wine would be catastrophic for the French wine industry. But Turkey has refused to bow down to the US. Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan has said that Ankara will turn elsewhere if Washington refuses to sell F-35 fighter jets. Erdogan has said that the US decision to cut Turkey from the F-35 program would not deter Turkey from meeting its security needs.
35 projesinden dışlanma teklifleri başta olmak üzere bu konuda Türkiye'ye yöneltilecek hiçbir tehdidin ve yaptırımın ülkemizi güvenlik önceliklerini hayata geçirmekten alıkoyamayacağını buradan bir kez daha ifade etmek isterim. Bunlara yönelik görüşmeler ne şekilde sonuçlanırsa sonuçlansın, biz Fırat'ın doğusundaki terör koridorunu paramparça etmekte kararlıyız.
The US refused to sell F-35 jets to its NATO ally Turkey after it bought a Russian S-400 missile system. Washington has also threatened to impose sanctions on Ankara. Meanwhile, Erdogan also said that Turkey was determined to destroy the terror corridor in Syria. Remember, relations between the two nations hit rock bottom when US announced troops withdrawal from Syria. US has backed Kurdish forces in the region, who Turkey considers as insurgents.
It's an incredible culture.